Hi, Dyslexic Genius here. I'm starting a Vic 2 outside horn machine, and we're going to call it Chasing History. The customer knows that the tone arm, the back bracket, and the tone arm are from a Vic 1, but it will work. So don't get all excited. But I'm going to show you how to rebuild a back bracket on like a Vic 1 or a Vic 2, all the same. The first thing you want to do is this spring is stuck down in here, and then this goes in here, and this is spring loaded. And this is the bottom of the tone arm, and that point fits in here. I will assemble it in the video, so I'm going to show you how to do this. When you get the tone arm out, you want to take the tone arm and go like this to make the spring fall out. A lot of times, if these have been in wet conditions, humid conditions, these springs are rusted. And then what I do is you take a long screwdriver and you come in here and you kind of drag it out. But this one, it popped out, which was wonderful. So what are the first things that we polish out? This end pin, you see I've polished it out. I chucked it in lathe, but you can do this at home. And I cleaned it up with 600 sandpaper while it was running, and I fixed the taper right here, which is at 60 degrees. So then what you do is you take a 1/8 inch center drill. I've talked about this, and if my angel can focus in, it was beat up around the edges here. So I took the center drill and I came in, and you just barely clean this up. Turn around a little so you get a smooth finish in here. And why do you do this? This is all brass and this is steel. So this is running in here like this, and it's wearing the brass out. So you want to have the tone arm floating like this. The other thing you want to do is the factory grease the insides of the yoke systems here. They grease this part with this to make it roll better, but you need to come in and clean this all out. I use lacquer thinner and a shop blue towel. I just come in here with my fingers and I clean that surface out. I come in here and I clean all this off the same way. Yes, somewhere in this life, this part got dented in the middle. It doesn't hurt it at all. And then I cleaned out the threads. I dipped my Q-tip into lacquer thinner and I cleaned this all out. And the reason we do all this, because every time you take off the end nut, this piece, to the yoke system here, there's a bunch of junk here. Well, the reason there's a bunch of junk here is we have an outside horn machine, so all the dirt and stuff goes down the horn, down the tone arm, and it dribbles out on this end nut. And you get them apart and you'll see like little critters and bugs sometimes on these. You want to clean that all out. Then you want to take this.
You don't put oil on it?
We are in just a minute. You're going to take this and you're going to screw this in with your fingers and make sure that this goes in and there's no problems that somebody's messed up the threads. Now you want to have this area clean right here and this area to clean, because this is steel and the rest of this is all brass, and this is all brass too. The whole tone arm's brass, and you want to clean all this off. And you'll see there's a little staining in here from the grease and stuff they use. So to assemble it, we're going to use two products. We're going to use sewing machine oil and a little STP. So you have the tone arm like that. This fits like that, flips back and forth. You're just going to give it a little drop of oil there and a little drop of oil here, like that. And you kind of run it around with your finger. And you're going to slide this in. And now you're going to let this, it should just drop like that. Because the tone arm really runs on the edge, this edge right here. So you put that in. You take the bolt or nut or whatever you want to call this end piece that has the slot. You want to just put one little drop of oil in that. You're going to come in here like this. Find the threads. Sometimes they're a little tricky. Depends on how they've cut them. There we go. Oh. And you just screw this down with your fingers. And you come up here and it drops. You don't want to use a screwdriver on this. You get these things, and you can turn the yoke and push this way with your hand and pull the yoke towards you, and that'll tighten it up. Now what do we do? We're going to turn this over, and you're going to look right here, because this part of the tone arm runs on this steel piece, and all this is brass, so this wears. So we're just going to take a little dab of STP, and we're going to coat all this, especially right around there. And this works for any Victor tone. There we go.
Works for any
Victor tone, back bracket outside horn machine. Now you're going to drop the spring in. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece that goes into the tone arm and put a little oil on your finger, just like that. Because you don't want this to rust. You're going to stick that in the hole.
Fat side down.
Fat side down, pointy end up, and it works. Great. Now what we're going to do, we're going to flip the tone arm over right here. And we're going to put a little STP in this right here, not sewing machine oil. Just enough to get it wet like that. Now what you do is you take, we have a pin that goes through there. You're going to pull this down with your thumb or thumbnail like that. And this will fit up in here. And then you pull it down and hook in to here. So now you see this is like this. There we go. Now you want to have the stop. See, we have the stop working perfectly like that. Now on the other video we just did about painting the back of the exhibition, this is the finished product for Chasing History. I come in, put the reproducer on. I'm going to watch it drop. Now see how this floats? And this all floats together because we fixed the binding up here where this was burred out, where these two parts hit. And then on the inside, it's pivoting too. Because you'll never ever come back and give that a little dab of oil in its life. Trust me. You might lift the motor and oil the motor, but nobody will come back in there. And the next videos will be on the rest of the machine, and that's my tip for the day.